Hello, and welcome back to Space Elite. I'm your host, Jeff Meyer. Today, we'll start with a Light 'em Up segment concerning the NFL officiating. Surprise, surprise. In the headlines, once again, refereeing in the NFL, which has been a horrible thing all year, and time again, there's some very suspect things happening in the NFL. But last weekend, really caught my eye was in the Wildcard Weekend. Panthers and Saints game. Cam Newton ended the game with a vicious hit. Got knocked down, very violent hit. He, while getting to the sideline, it appeared that he stumbled, went down to the ground. Trainers came out, NFL, assuming the Panthers staff came out, evaluated him. But there's no way that you can tell me, based off my knowledge of football, that he did not have a concussion, that he did not suffer from a concussion in that moment. For a grown man like Cam Newton, like 6'5", 260, whatever he is, a huge physical guy, be jogging off the sideline and be put to a knee like he did, there's definitely a concussion involved in that. I don't care what the NFL says. The NFL says that really funny. He got poked in the eye. He received his visor on that vicious hit, poked him in the eye. Physically, like the hit moved the visor and poked him in the eye. The most bullshit thing I've ever heard in my entire life from playing football. Because first off, those visors are screwed down. They're tightened into place. I'm sure things can happen. They get loose. They can get jarred for violent hits and stuff like that. But for it to physically poke him in the eye, you would have been able to visually see that on the game film from last weekend. You didn't. He suffered a concussion. He got poked in the eye. Any of that bull crap. Just the NFL needed excuse. They came up with a very poor one to keep Cam Newton in the game, keep things exciting, because at the end of the game, Panthers had a chance to come back against the Saints. But they fell short. As you guys know, Saints won. The Saints move on to the divisional round to playing the Vikings this weekend, divisional round. Number 4 playing number 2 in the NFC, which the Falcons beat the Rams. I thought the Rams were going all the way to the Super Bowl. Thought they had enough in their running game. Todd Gurley was pretty much contained in that game. I watched that one. Rams and the Falcons. Just Jared Goff, young quarterback. That's one thing that's very important with your playoff picks and everything. You pick quarterbacks. I didn't. I took the Rams. I thought they had enough. I like their young head coach and everything that was going for them. But time and time again, the playoffs, picking veteran quarterback, have the ability to throw the ball, not get rattled, throw the deep ball. That's one thing that hurt Kansas City last week. Alex Smith wasn't able to, even though he's a veteran quarterback, wasn't able to stretch the field. But I don't know, the Falcons got hot. They made the playoffs, getting hot. They're going to be a tear now for the rest of the playoffs. And I think they're now my new favorite to make the Super Bowl in the NFC. They now play Philadelphia without Carson Wentz. I think that's really going to affect the Phillies' chances of winning this weekend. Saints versus Vikings, Case Keenum versus Drew Brees. In my mind, that's a no-brainer. Drew Brees, time and time again, has shown why he's been an elite quarterback his entire career. Has won a Super Bowl. Him and Sean Payton have done tremendous things in New Orleans for the Saints. But I think that's one thing. You look at these quarterbacks that are remaining. You got Tom Brady at the Patriots. You got Ben Roethlisberger with the veteran quarterbacks who won Super Bowls, went the distance, brought the trophy home to their home. Brought the trophy home to their home city. Drew Brees has done it. Matt Ryan has not. But if you look at the backs, Matt Ryan's the next best thing. So I think in the NFC, you're going to have a matchup now between Drew Brees and Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan made this Super Bowl last year, so he's in unfamiliar territory for him. Been there, he's done it. He just didn't win the Super Bowl last year, which being up 28-3 at halftime, you tell anyone that story, they're going to tell you that these Falcons wasn't enough to beat the Patriots last year. There's a good chance we can have a Super Bowl match. Steelers aren't a shoe-in, like my Pittsburgh Steelers aren't a shoe-in. They now play Jacksonville this weekend. I'll be attending this Sunday, 1 p.m. They're playing Jacksonville at Heinz Field in the divisional round. rematch of a game previously played this year in Pittsburgh, where Jacksonville put it on Pittsburgh. I mean, it was an awful game. Ben threw 5 picks. But I love that the fact that Ben went out early and said, I want to play Jacksonville. I want to redeem. Basically, he's like, I want to redeem myself. I want to change the story, change the script. This time when they come to Pittsburgh in January, in the cold, it's not going to be the same outcome. That's what I love about Ben Roethlisberger. Going out, being a veteran quarterback, saying what's on his mind, that he wants the Jacksonville Jaguars. I love it. It's kind of bold, it's kind of cocky, but calling a shot. And at Heinz Field this weekend, the Steelers right now are -7. They're a 7-point favorite against Jacksonville. So high with Jacksonville's defense. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Steelers are. It's going to be one of those games. The Steelers are going to win very easily, but it's never going to be out of reach. It's going to be a close game, but you know the entire game when you're watching, it's like, all right, the Steelers have this. They're got it wrapped up. It's not going to be any difficult. But I'm sure that Heinz will be rocking. I can't wait to be there Sunday. It's going to be a great atmosphere. And I love that Fournette has said publicly before that doesn't like playing in the cold. It looks like it's going to be about 20 in Pittsburgh Sunday. I mean, that's not extremely cold, but that's cold enough if you're a fair weather fan, fair weather player like Fournette seems to be not like playing in the cold. It could have an impact on his game. Might put the ball on the turf. Never know. It could be huge in a game like this because turnovers are everything. Playoffs, big games. Turnovers are usually the deciding factor. Last time they played, Ben had 5 picks. They had 5 picks, and Jacksonville didn't beat him by 60 points. If I was a Jacksonville, I'd be nervous. Because when you won in Pittsburgh last time, everything that possibly could go wrong for the Steelers went wrong. So that's not going to happen this week. I mean, there's a possibility, but I don't foresee it happening. I don't think it's realistic. The Steelers are going to have 5-6 turnovers again against Jacksonville's time. AB should be coming back. Hopefully he can play. Love to see the matchup with him and Ramsey. AB is not going to be 100%. I don't care what he says or what anyone says. Comes back, he's not going to be 100%, but hopefully he can play and be healthy enough to make an impact on the game and help the Steelers win. That means a lot for Big Ben to have AB with Martavis, Juju Smith-Schuster doing his thing right now. Obviously got Bell in the backfield. I like the Steelers' chances. And if they win this game, you go to Foxborough, and it's not great playing in Foxborough, but you got a chance. So that's all you can ask for as a team. Talking about Foxborough, you can already book it. I actually think I'm going to be putting a lot of money on the Patriots. They're -13.5. I would not be taking that spread, even though it's a similar spread to last year when they played Houston and the Patriots covered. I hate double-digit spreads in the NFL. It scares me. Betting guy. I think the Patriots will cover by -13.5. Titans don't have enough. But I think I'm going to take the Patriots money line. I don't know what the payout's going to be. I'm assuming very low. I feel like the smart money and a lot of money is going to be going on the Patriots money line this weekend. It's a night game in Foxborough in January. Basically, this is Tom Brady's dream that he's been living now for the last 15 years. Tom Brady doesn't lose at home, doesn't lose in the playoffs. A night game. It's going to be cold. It's Foxborough. The Titans win. It would be the upset. It might be the biggest upset in the last 5 years. I mean, maybe longer. This might be one of the biggest play. If Titans go into England, into Foxborough, and beat the Patriots, it might be the biggest upset in the last 10, 15 years. I'm not really sure. I don't even know how to qualify it, how big of an upset it's going to be, but it would be huge. I don't think Marcus Mariota and that team has a chance in the world. But, yeah, I don't think they have a chance in the world. But playing devil's advocate, if they do have a chance in the world, it'd be Derrick Henry running the rock 25, 30 times. Old school football you don't see very often, playing tough-nosed defense, running the rock. Derrick Henry has to have a 200-yard game. They have to control the tempo, grind the tempo down, limit the possessions that Tom Brady has because he's going to score. Tom Brady, it's that simple. But Marcus Mariota, he did a lot in that. Getting back to lighting up the officiating in the NFL, there was a very, very suspect officiating last weekend. I didn't like some of the calls in the Titans-KC game. I thought the Chiefs should have won. I thought the Chiefs got slighted by the refs, which is surprising because they were the home team, and I like to think that the home team gets, slight edge, playing at home. But I didn't see it. I thought they got the raw end of the stick on a couple important calls. Things didn't go quite their way. I would have loved to see Kansas City play New England. Love to see it. Kansas City beat New England once already this year, early in the year. They have I think they have the talent and the athleticism to beat the Patriots. Just you got to take care of games at home, the playoffs, and the wild card. It's the Titans, not a very good team, but Marcus Mariota made enough plays and made it happen. But I love to see Kansas City play that game. Getting back to the officiating, as I touched on twice now, the pick that happened at the end of the Jags-Bills game was not a pick. Come on. What the fuck is going on in the NFL right now? You have the Jesse James catch, stretch, didn't survive the ground bullshit that wasn't a catch. And you have the catch in Buffalo. I don't know if it was in Buffalo. It was the Buffalo's player against the Patriots. I thought that was a catch, but here's the thing. There wasn't conclusive video evidence to overturn it. So if you can't overturn it, there's not conclusive evidence, stay with the call on the okay? They didn't do that. So, and I thought it was funny because Romo, and I forget who the guy's Romo, they were basically saying, they should go with the call on the field because they don't know if it's, conclusive enough. And the guy, with Romo is like, they haven't been doing that all year. They're going to overturn this, like, essentially, which I think they should have. I thought there was video evidence that moved, but no, went with the call on the field. I don't know. I think it was a shitty call. Just piss poor when a lot of games have been decided by poor officiating. It's really piss poor. But Falcons Saints game also. Sorry, I'm going all over the place with games. I'm trying to spit out everything that I remember from this weekend. Wildcard Weekend's a hell of a weekend to watch sport. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to touch on the national championship next year after I get done with the NFL. That was on Monday, but it was a hell of a weekend for football. The Saints-Panthers, I thought they had a chance. You had the grounding rule in that game. I thought Cam was out of the pocket. He argued with the officials. Didn't get the call. I asked a couple friends, texted them when it happened. I'm like, hey, am I blind? Did he get out of the pocket? So I think everyone said that they thought it was, like in their opinion, it was grounding, but one other person. So me and one of my friends had the same opinion that he was out of the pocket. Apparently the referees did not have the same opinion as me and my friend. They thought he was in the pocket and it was grounding. But that game, and I can't remember the other game. It was the Bills game. Groundings hurt them. They comebacks, and then obviously in the Bills game, Tyrod Taylor goes down. Tyrod Taylor played shit. Nate Peterman came in. I was hoping that'd be the storybook ending to a horrible season for Nate Peterman, having that game where he threw 5 picks in the first half or whatever it was. Came in, got a first down, but he ended up throwing the pick to Ramsey. I don't know. Grounding hurt them in this situation. I think it was Peterman who had the grounding. I can't remember, but some interesting ending to the games. But this weekend, I'm going to pick my winners, pick my spreads. So you have the Patriots in Tennessee and Foxborough, like I already said. I'm going to put a lot of money on the Patriots money line. Might even take the spread, but they're going to win. Lock that up. That's a lock all day. And the Steelers Jags, I'm taking the Steelers. The Steelers -7. I'm probably going to do the Steelers money line with betting this weekend with that again. I think it was a date with destiny. You're going to have the Steelers go to New England. You're going to rematch. You're running back last year's AFC Championship. And I think this Steelers team is much better than the last year's. So I'm going to take the AFC. I'm going to have a rematch of the Patriots. Like I've been saying all year, Patriots Steelers AFC Championship, lock it in. That's what it's going to be. Now, in the NFC, I thought the Rams were going to win last week. That didn't happen, so that changes up the matchups a little bit. Falcons are the 6th seed. They're now playing Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. The Falcons are a 3-point favorite on the road in the playoffs. Lock it up. Covering the spread, and we put money on the Falcons to cover that spread. No Carson Wentz, no win for Philadelphia. Not going to happen. Saints, Vikings. Minnesota's a 5-point favorite at home. I'm taking the road dog Saints +5. I think we're going to have Falcons, Saints, little NFC South, NFC Championship. I think the Saints keep marching on, baby. They keep marching on. Got the Saints, Falcons, NFC, and I'm going to take the Falcons now for my team to make the Super Bowl. I know I'm going to do this every week. Who's left? Falcons lose this week. Who are we going to take next? But I think I said last week in the podcast, you guys who will listen can correct me if I'm wrong. I said whoever's going to win the Rams-Falcons game in the wild card was going to make the NFC Championship. I'm sticking to that. It wasn't the Rams, it's the Falcons, but I'm going to go with that. And I think that's all my coverage for the NFL for the week. Just really excited for the Steelers, a chance to move forward. But flipping the script now to college, man, it was a national championship. I was at work, and it was rough watching it. I had my phone underneath my computer, just watching it. Watched as much as I could. Obviously, got the Dogs hat on. Thought the Georgia Bulldogs were going to bring it home to bring home the national championship, but fell short. It really grinds my gears because rookie, freshman, quarterback. I'll say rookie, but it's a rookie, freshman, whatever, NFL, college. He's a rook. He's a freshman quarterback, comes in, wins the national championship. Kudos to Nick Saban. It's one of those moments, hero, GOAT. He comes in, plays awful, and Bama loses the national championship. He's an idiot. He's a 5-time national champion who's an idiot. That's just how coaching works. 1 second you're here, 1 second you're GOAT. But of course, Alabama pulls it off. Nick Saban wins his 6th national championship. He's a hero in Tuscaloosa. Just it is what it is. It's just a lot to say about the game. I thought the officiating at times, like I said, I wasn't able to focus full in the games. I had work to do. I thought the officiating was slighted towards Alabama in the second half, try to keep the game close. And that's speculation. But Bama made enough plays. But the one thing that really hurts, oh my God, as a player, as a person, as a former player, as a person who knows football, Bama misses that field goal to win the game in regulation. If you're a Georgia player, you're at cloud 9. You're as high as you can possibly be emotionally, adrenaline. You're like, holy fuck, we got a chance. We have a chance now. And he misses it. You go to OT. Things aren't going great, but Hot Rod, they call him, Goggles, Rex Specs kicker, bangs a 51-yard field goal to go up in OT. Pretty good. You're a little nervous because you score a touchdown, but you're feeling pretty damn good. And then you get that huge sack on first down. The ball's now on the 41-yard line. They lost 16 yards. So you got 2nd and 26. They're on the 41-yard line. Bama's kicker ain't shit. You're feeling so great. And to let up that fucking touchdown. Devastating. There's no other word for it. Devastating. As a player, you're playing safety. Don't get beat deep. You have to know situational football. That's what pisses me off about college, high school, NFL sometimes. You have these people who are phenomenally gifted athletes. I could wish, hope, dream, pray that when I played that I would have had some of the athletic ability that what some of these players on Alabama, Georgia, in the NFL, like when I watched it on film, on TV, I mean, it blows my mind how gifted these athletes are. But it also pisses me off when you have this much God-given talent to not know situational football. In that situation, what beats you there? Deep passes. They got to get a first down. They got to get somewhere close to field goal range. Which, since you missed a 36-yarder, go to OT, you got to think that Nick Saban wants to get like at least a 30-yard field goal. Be comfortable. No situational football. In that situation, I'm like, all right, thrown deep, watch fades, post, deep crosses, dig big, deep dig routes. Those are the kind of patterns in your mind as playing defense you think they're going to run. And also the screen. Screen in that situation, Georgia's amped up, excited, a lot of adrenaline pumping through their veins, they're winning a national championship. That's a great moment for a screen. Screen, draw, something like that. Try to get, catch them off guard. But situational football, no down distance. What can, possibly be called? It helps a lot. That corner to get toasted, safety not to get over. That's a bad look. National championships right within your degree. Like, right there. As a player, as a coach, as a fan, it's right there. Not enough to seal the deal, and it's heartbreaking. Georgia covered the spread, though. I'm pretty sure last week, if I remember correctly, I said put money on Georgia plus 3.5 to cover the spread. The under, I thought would hit, did not hit. The over hit. It would have. I'm sure the under would have hit if it didn't go. If Alabama would have kicked that field goal in regulation, yeah, they would have. That's right. If they kicked that field goal there, the under would have covered, and pretty sure the under would have covered, and Georgia still would have been plus 3.5. But that's not the way it happened. Heartbreaking. Georgia though has got some hell of a recruiting next year. Hey, go Dogs! 2018, let's go. Hate seeing Bama win like that, but one of the guys on the big show Tuesday night talked about Nick Saban's legacy. I'll touch on that briefly. I think at this point now, I think you need to throw statistics out, decades out. You gotta throw it all out. I think the thing that matters the most. I think you need to separate it between college and NFL. We'll say that. I'll give him that. I think there's a best NFL coach ever and a best college coach ever. Because in my opinion, there's two different dynamics. College, you have to worry about gaining essentially kids' trust, helping them grow as a person and adult, bringing the most out, bringing their potential to the table, and helping them grow and all that, and helping them, putting them in a position to perform like they do, especially at Alabama. But Nick Saban, in my opinion, is the best college coach of all time. Urban Meyer maybe can surpass him, but at this point, Nick Saban has 6 national championships. He's done it in over multiple decades at this point, where there's been a lot of crazy changes in college football, tendencies, ideologies of how college football plays out. You have the BCS, now you have the playoffs. Through it all, and I know Richie and I made a good point that there's previous coaches and teams that might have had a chance if there was a playoff. I'm sure, I hate to say it, it kills me to say it. I'm sure a lot of those Penn State teams, Joe Paterno coach back in the day, if they did a playoff situation, they would have fucking won it. Hate to say it, but Nick Saban has made the most of his opportunities, what he's what he has had, he's worked with, and taking advantage of it. So in my opinion, best college coach of all time, 6 national championships, done it all. Hell of a coach, hate him. I'm pretty sure he sold his soul to the devil to build the program in Alabama that he has. But kudos to him. He keeps winning. The worst part is that freshman quarterback, he's going to be back next year for Alabama. Alabama going to next year is number 1 in the poll. That's what I fucking hate about college, and I hate about Alabama. Every fucking year, they're going to be number 1. USC is probably going to be number 4. Just how it is. Ohio State will probably be 3. Georgia will probably be 5 or 6, somewhere in that ballpark. Oklahoma, you know what I mean? Like they're all going to be right there based on this year's their preseason polls are all going to be right there. You're going to put a bias in people's heads going into the next year. But one thing with that saying of the bias, I love that UCF claiming a national champion. Makes me so happy. They went undefeated. They should have been. I mean, if you look at how the playoffs were developed and why they were, UCF is exactly why the playoffs were developed. A team like that should be given a chance, and that's why from day one since the playoffs started 3 years ago, I said it needs to be 8 teams. 8 teams, and 2 weekends, national championship. Why not? 8 teams. I feel like 8 teams makes the most sense in my opinion, and here's why. You have 5 power conferences, okay? So let's just start here. Everyone who wins the one of the Power 5 conference automatically in. There's 5 year 8 right there. Then you take one team, the best undefeated UCF team from a non-Power 5 conference, the best resume, whatever. I know there will be debate about this, and people will be like, let's go to 16 teams, but fuck that. 16 teams too much. I think 8's perfect. So you have your 5 power conferences, you have your one, at large, which this year would be UCF, and then I think you take your 2 other best teams, in the Power 5 conferences. Or maybe one other best team in the Power 5 conference, and then one maybe another at large. I don't know. The important thing is have your five Power 5 conference champions and 3 other ones. That way you can have, like this year, Ohio State and Alabama get in. UCF gets in. Maybe USC gets in. Does USC deserve to get in? I don't know. I'm not on the committee. I don't know. Really don't know. But you have 8 teams, and you just let it all play out. UCF beat a damn good Auburn team. Damn good. I thought for sure Auburn was going to beat the shit out of UCF. Guess what? Didn't happen. They beat very good Auburn team. An Auburn team that also beat Alabama. And I believe, if I remember correctly, pretty sure they beat Georgia. I'm pretty sure Auburn beat Alabama and Georgia. UCF beat them. I know it's matchups, tendencies, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot more there's many more factors that play into it than just, oh, well, Auburn beat them, we beat you. That means we can beat both of them. That's not how it works out. Fortunately, I remember as a little kid going to wrestling tournaments. I thought, oh man, this guy lost to him. I can easily beat him. No, matchups matter. Not how it works out. Sometimes here's a perfect example in wrestling. Let's put this wrestling analogy to the football thing. I beat a kid by 15 points. He just bad matchup for him. He wasn't as good as me. Beat him by 15 points. He then beats another kid by 1 point. I remember all the time thinking wrestling, like, oh man, I can easily beat him by 15 points. I already beat the kid to beat him. No, I only beat the other kid by 3 points. It's all matchups. Tendencies, matchups. Happens all the time. So for people who out here think that UCF would have easily walked all over, won the national championship just because they beat Auburn, not necessarily true, but I would have liked to seen it. I would have loved for UCF to get an opportunity. But honestly, in my opinion, I know bias. I think that Oklahoma, Georgia was a national championship, in my opinion. Alabama, Georgia played in it. Alabama won it. But I don't think they should have got in. Ohio State should have got in. I don't know. Actually, I don't even know. I'm so flip-floppy on this now. I don't even know where I stood a month ago. I'm pretty sure originally I thought that Alabama should have got in because they were the better team. They had more talent. I'm pretty sure I thought. But I don't know. It was a coin toss between Ohio State and Alabama, honestly. Alabama didn't win their conference. So this year, you know what? They would have got into the playoffs if you had 8 teams. So there, the 18 thing fixes everything. Ohio State would have been, Alabama would have been, UCF would have been, USC might have been in. I don't know, another team. But it needs to change. You need more teams. And here's the thing. Now that we have the college playoffs, the bowl games don't really matter anything. It's funny because you have all these people out here like, oh, the Big Ten won 7-1 in bowl games. The only loss was Michigan. Big Ten, blah, blah, all this stuff. Dude, it's bowl games. The thing that people don't understand, for all the people who out there have never been to a bowl game, never played in a bowl game. I never played in a bowl game, but I've been to one. And I remember our coaching staff at Pitt left, or our head coach, Todd Graham, left. You think that anyone on the team was focused on the bowl game? Everyone was going down there to have fun. All the older kids were going to the bar every night, having fun, dicking off. Didn't give a shit what the coaches said. Everyone's like, there's a couple kids on the team's like, dude, fuck you. You're not going to be here in 3 weeks. And you know what I mean? Like, you have teams like that who go represent a conference. I don't give a shit. They represent a conference and they get beat by 30. Is that a real, is that a real dictator of, or indicator, a real indicator of how that conference is because you have a bunch of kids who head coaches leaving and don't give a shit how they play and they lose to another conference? No, I don't think so. I think you can also think about it like this. It's more pieces of the puzzle. You can look at it, you can evaluate it. Maybe it's better, but I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes some situations, like, I don't know. That's a difficult one. I'm trying to think. I kind of contradicted myself when I was thinking about it because you look at it as a whole. So many teams beat so many teams from this conference. I don't know. Might not be correlation. Might be but I don't know. I just stopped myself at the end of this, but but anyway. Alabama is the national champ. Georgia lost a heartbreaker. Steelers this weekend. Huge game at home. Jaguars. Win, you go back to New England, you play in the AFC Championship with a chance for another Super Bowl run. Steelers will pull it off, go to the Super Bowl. It'd be Ben's 4th Super Bowl appearance. He's 2-1 in Super Bowl. God willing, hopefully, get the Super Bowl, win it. Ben 3-1. He might retire, and then there's a lot of coaching positions open in the NFL, and there's going to be a lot of, I believe, quarterbacks and different teams switching, filling new positions. But if Big Ben wins the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be surprised if he retired. I know he just said that yesterday that retirement's not on his mind, but it's a hell of a way to go out. Your 3rd ring, go 3-1 in Super Bowls, beat Tom Brady at New England finally. Beat either a good Saints or Falcons team, in my opinion. I think that's either they would play. But I don't know. It's going to be a lot of fun. But if that happens, Ben retires, I think Alex Smith or someone like that might be coming to Pittsburgh. Alex Smith, Eli Manning, you don't know where they're going to be next year. 2 good quarterbacks. I don't want to say great, but very good quarterbacks. It's funny, I don't want to say great for Eli Manning. He's won 2 Super Bowls. Never been a huge Eli guy. Eli's probably going to be Hall of Fame talks. He has 2 Super Bowl wins. But one of those guys, maybe Phillip Rivers. I think Phillip Rivers is going to stay with the Chargers in his career, but you never know. Maybe Tony Romo will come out of the booth. Oh my God, I would love it. Tony Romo comes out of the booth, wins a Super Bowl with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Every diehard Cowboys fan, including my friend Nick, their heart would stop beating. Stop. They would be dead. Oh my God, I'd love every second. But I talked shit on Romo a lot of years, throwing all those nice 4th quarter picks. But if Ben retires, hey, I'd take Ben over Romo. I'll take Romo over a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL right now. And I think Jerry Jones, Cowboys owner, thinking the same thing. He's like, what the hell did I do leaving Dak in here? It's one of the things. I think Dak's a good quarterback. I think Dak is the quarterback of the future for the Cowboys. But with all this, instant gratification we have in society these days, he couldn't wait. He couldn't let Dak sit, learn, and develop as a quarterback and have Romo for another couple years. I think, oh man, it's a lot of what ifs. But if Romo would have stayed with the Cowboys, had a chance to, continue and finish out his career with the Cowboys for maybe 2 or 3 more years, they would have had a chance to win the Super Bowl. They would have been a contender. But it's Jerry Jones. Gratification. Couldn't do it. Could not do it. Hilarious to me. But hey, maybe Romo will come to Pittsburgh. Maybe Big Ben will win a Super Bowl. AB and the boys get it done, and that's enough to sway a Tony Romo, Alex Smith, someone like, hey, look at these weapons. You got an alien in Martavis Bryant, freak alien. He wanted out of the Pittsburgh Steelers 3 months ago, but I haven't heard a word since. He's getting more touches. He's playing better. Maybe settling in again. You have AB, best receiver in the NFL. Juju Smith-Schuster, rising star. Le'Veon Bell. Big Ben would retire. Pittsburgh Steelers are a destination for him. You want quarterback this. If you're the Steelers organization, you don't want to bring a rookie in. When you have this kind of talent on offense, this extreme talent on offense, you don't want to waste a Super Bowl chance, a Super Bowl window with these kind of players with a rookie quarterback. Which is ironic because when Ben came in, he was a rookie, he won the Super Bowl with second year. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you find another Ben Roethlisberger, but finding a Ben Roethlisberger in the draft is hard. The Cleveland Browns have been trying to do it for the last 20 years. They have not. They've passed over Ben Roethlisberger. They've passed over Carson Wentz. They've passed over. The list goes on and on of great quarterbacks who are in the NFL doing well. They've passed over them. They took Johnny Manziel instead. They've taken people who've been huge bucks. They took Brady Quinn to me. Like looking back over the last 20 years of Cleveland Browns quarterbacks, he's the one that sticks out to me. He's like, man, that was the right guy to choose. Even it made sense to draft Brady Quinn. It just didn't pan out. Just didn't work out. That's the NFL. But I don't know. We'll see how things go. But it's funny. There's very curious to see what the Steelers are going to look like in the next 5 years. But I'm not really worried because if you want a quarterback, you want to go on the market and get a veteran quarterback. Like you can. Why not? You have all the pieces of the puzzle. You have an offense. You have a young defense that's getting better. I don't know what's going to happen with Shazier. I just saw, shout out to Shazier. He just finally was able to come to the first Steelers practice at the facility. He was in a wheelchair. Hopefully someday he can walk again. Maybe, God willing, someday he can play football again. I think at this point the playing football again is very doubtful, but hopefully he can walk, have a very fulfilling life. But other than, Shazier is on that defense, man. It's young, fast. I think it's still a good, young, fast team, but having Shazier at linebacker is a huge advantage, and it's unfortunate it happened with him. And hopefully he just keeps getting better, and God willing, he can walk and have a fulfilling life. But hate to end this on a, sad note, but I think the Steelers are going to do well this weekend. It's good to see Shazier back with the Steelers. He'll be at the game this weekend. I know he'll be cheering on his friends and teammates. So hopefully the Steelers get a victory, and we're going back to Foxborough. Maybe try to go to Foxborough for the game. We'll see. We'll see if anyone from the Southbound Sports family will have a chance, an opportunity to maybe go to the AFC Championship in Foxborough, Minnesota. But this is Jeff here on Spaces Laces. Check us out, Southbound Sports, Spaces Laces, Twitter, Instagram, all the social media accounts we have. Set it up at S-Bound Sports. Voicemail 1-412-330-1512. Hit me up at Jeffrey_T_Meyer, Meier, on Twitter. Hey, it's been a lot of fun today, guys. Hopefully the Steelers can do well this weekend and maybe bring another Super Bowl back to the City of Champions. This is Jeff here on Spaces Laces. Over and out.